What's up, folks? This is Justin from Books, Bricks, and Boards. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about the classes in Dungeon Crawl Classics. The reason for that is when I initially delved into the game, I had some very poor guesses about what the classes actually were going to be based upon my knowledge of BXD&D. They seem to align very closely with the BX classes. But there's so much more to these classes in Dungeon Crawl Classics. So this is going to be my take on the Dungeon Crawl Classics core classes. Let's get into it.
She has made me a true cleric with the gift of healing. Miss Shackle, heal this man who has served you so well.
All right, first up we've got the Cleric. Casters in Dungeon Crawl Classics are something special. They typically don't have a limit on the number of spells they can cast, and this is true with the Cleric as well. In fact, healing isn't even considered a spell, but just a divine favor from the gods. So anytime they cast a spell, they are going to make a casting roll. If they roll low enough, they're going to gain disapproval from their deity. But on the flip side, they can also request special favors from their deity. They have turning like in other game systems, and the spells have some pretty terrific results on the high end. You're never going to be disappointed with a Cleric because you get a lot of the combat abilities of a warrior. You're not restricted to blunt weapons as you are in most systems. You actually have weapons based upon your choice of deity. You got a D8 hit dice, and you get to use a wide variety of armor. Next up we have the Thief. The Thief in Dungeon Crawl Classics is going to have its skills determined largely by its alignment choice. So chaotic thieves are going to be experts at backstabbing and disguising themselves, whereas a lawful thief is going to have better ability to find and disarm traps and do the things you would associate with a scout. So whenever a thief does score a backstab in Dungeon Crawl Classics, it's an automatic critical, which is amazing in this system. Another thing that thieves all have going for them is their luck die. Thieves get a special die determined by their level that is rolled every time they use any luck, and that's how many points of a bonus they get to that roll for using the luck. For example, a first level thief gets a D3 every time it uses a single point of luck, gaining a +1 to 3 based upon the roll. Thieves also regain their luck at a rate of 1 point per level per day, which is awesome. Alright, next up we have the Warrior, and this is not your grandfather's fighter. First off, they have a massive D12 hit die. Plus, instead of an attack modifier, they get a D die that gives a plus to hit and damage on every attack, as well as an opportunity to perform a mighty deed, such as tripping your opponent or knocking sand in their eyes so they cannot see. This D die goes up every time that you level, and also it applies not just to melee attacks, but also missile weapon attacks. It makes them the true masters of all weaponry. Additionally, warriors get to choose a weapon of choice at the beginning of the game, and they get to add their luck modifier to their attacks with that weapon. Additionally, they have the best critical tables as far as players go in the game, and they have an extended crit range that is based upon their level, allowing them to use the critical hit tables much more often in their favor. Conan has nothing on these guys.
I gave you the chance.
Wizards in DCC are something else entirely. They can choose to spellburn by trading points of their strength, dexterity, or constitution to gain a greater result on their spellcasting rolls. With the spells each having a table that goes into the results above 30 on those different effects, these spells can be quite potent, and wizards can have world-impacting effects right out of the gate. Additionally, their D4 hit points is a little bit offset at the beginning by the extra D4 that they get from their 0 level. On top of that, familiars are more potent in Dungeon Crawl Classics than most systems, and wizards have the ability to call upon favors from patrons that will give them special spells and often special perks. That being said, the patron also gives the judge an opportunity to call in payment for those favors and lead the party to where they want them to go and create a more cohesive storyline. Dwarves. I have a soft spot for these little guys. Now, dwarves on the surface may appear to be a weaker warrior, but that's only if you miss out on a few key differences. They lose the crit range benefit that the warrior has. They have a slightly lower hit die with a d10, but they gain a higher will save. They get an extra attack with a shield bash if they're using a weapon and shield, and they have improvision. On top of that, they also get special benefits whenever you are traveling underground, which in a game called Dungeon Crawl Classics should be often. Now, if the judge is not taking into account lighting and they are allowing people to see underground without improvision, that will weaken the dwarf as a class as a whole. However, with a good judge who knows how to let the characters shine, a dwarf should hold its own and then some. Oh, the blasted elves. I would like to hate them, but unfortunately Dungeon Crawl Classics has done a great job here too. They get a d6 hit points, which is slightly better than the wizard. They get a bonus to their senses and being able to detect secret doors and whatnot. They get a slight weakness to iron, taking a point of damage a day if it maintains contact with their skin. And they have spell progression similar to the wizard, with knowing a few less spells. That being said, they also get Patron Bond and Invoke Patron Bond automatically. So elves are always going to have a patron they can call upon, which is a pretty awesome ability. Their weapon and armor choices are much improved from the wizard, but because of their iron weakness, they're going to have to be using mithril weapons and armor, which is going to be more expensive. Also, with only a d6 hit points, you really don't want them in the thick of things very often. But the elves are a potent class nonetheless.
I did not come to steal from you. O Smaug, the unaccessibly wealthy. I merely wanted to gaze upon your magnificence.
Halflings. What can we say about these little fur-footed furiosos? Well, they are amazing in combat. They get a special 2-weapon fighting bonus where they get to use 1 die down with each weapon. So if they have a d20 for their normal attack, they get 2 d16s. But additionally, they also get to critical on a roll of a natural 16. So whereas a normal class would have 1 chance to hit a 5%, rolling a 20, a halfling gets 2 chances to hit a 6.5% on a d16. Additionally, they only fumble if both rolls of the d16 are a 1, bringing their chance to fumble down to a 0.39 from a 5% for most classes. On top of being experts of stealth, being able to use their luck on other characters, getting double luck benefit every time they use it, and regaining a point of luck per level per day, halflings are indeed a potent choice.
Alright, so hopefully that will help you to better understand how each of these classes play, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and how you can enjoy getting the most out of these Dungeon Crawl Classics classes. Until next time, this has been Justin from Books, Bricks, and Boards. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Good gaming, and God bless.